Hey YouTube. About to hear. Hopefully I'm in frame. I'm standing under a tree because it's starting to rain. And it's a little bit cold out here. Anyways, have I got a crazy story for you that happened to me yesterday. But first of all, you guys might remember this area from the backflips video I did years ago. I forget what it was called. But yeah, you guys might remember this area from that. And, oh, the reason I said I hope I'm in frame is because I'm using the rear camera instead of the selfie camera, so it looks a little bit better. Anyways, so crazy story. Oh, that's the other thing I wanted to mention. In case any of you are curious, this is a water pump station, and I'm in what we call Pump Station Park. It's, let me do this, just undo. There's that. So it's not very big. Lock the tripod down right about there. Yeah, it's not a very big place, but you know, as a kid, I played a little bit of baseball with friends here. Did some fun activities. You know, sometimes we have to climb over to get our ball, which there's a no trespassing sign on the fence right over there. And I never was the one to climb over. Always my friends were. Big long hair and don't know where it came from. Ooh, it's picking up. Good thing I got this tree to help give me a little bit of... Anyways, let's get on with the story. Oh, and kids still use it to this day in this neighborhood. So, yesterday I was at work and I was on break. My break was just about getting over, and all of a sudden my coworker, not a manager, but the coworker, got on the intercom and said, "Caleb, you're wanted up front." So my initial thought was that the managers had asked her, she's another cashier just like me, they had asked her to call me up because my break's getting about over, where is he? Which has happened several times. A lot of times what will happen is, it's about halfway through my shift, I'll go find a manager, can I go on break? Well, is it busy up front? Not right now. Okay, yes, you can go on break. So then I will punch out for break, it's about 12 minutes, I'll go back there, I'll warm up my food for 30 seconds in the microwave, pick a nice YouTube video that's about 10 minutes long, or, you know, sometimes if it's longer and I really want to see it, then I'll watch part of it and finish it later. And then right about the video's done, I have to go bathroom. Well, I better go now before I go back up front, so then I'm always a little bit late. Not always late for break, but there are a few times where I have been late for break, overshot it because I forgot how long I was going and stuff like that. But YouTube video is nice because it helps me keep track of time a little bit easier. But so that's what I was thinking was going on, is they were calling me up from that. And they're usually calling me right about as I'm walking up to the front. Excuse me. So I walk up to the front, and there's my coworker at her register, and there's no managers around or whatever. And I thought that was a little bit odd. But, you know, then it turns out there's this customer who I'd recognized seeing before. I didn't remember exactly when I last see her, like what types of items she's bought and stuff like that. But she had on a big backpack, like pink shirt, long blonde hair. I want to say her name is Stacy, and I'm mentioning her name, nobody else's name, but I'm mentioning her name for a reason. And so she is, I would say she's maybe, like, if you're talking thickness of her arms and, you know, width and stuff, her fat and muscle, I would say she's twice my size, but height-wise, not much higher, maybe 50% higher, taller. No, not 50%, I don't know. She's bigger than me, but not too much. Definitely not overweight or heavyset, as far as I can tell. And she said, "Hey, Caleb, come here, I want to show you something. It's right over here." So we start walking down to one of the aisles in the seasonal section, where right now we've got like summer items for having like a luau party, and there's like swim stuff nearby, like the inflatable tubes for floating in the pool and stuff. And so I am thinking she wants to show me an item in the store that we sell and ask if we have more of it or something like that. So when we get just down inside of the aisle, she says, "Here, it's edible," and hands me, just like that, she hands me a little Ziploc bag with 3 tiny little balls of cannabis, little green balls. And I'm pretty sure it was marijuana, and I think, you know, like when the officer got there and stuff, you know, it seemed like he was thinking marijuana too. But I was pretty sure it was. She hands it to me, it accidentally drops on the floor, and I reach down and pick it up, and we kind of both been down, but I pick it up, and she's like, oh, that wasn't too good. Well, have a good day, bye. So then I put it in my pocket, and I let my coworker know I have to go find the manager and stuff, even though I'm just getting back from break and I could hop on and help her. I go straight to the back, because I'm thinking I should call the cops, but I just wanted to confirm that this was the right thing to do. So when I get to the back, there are both the managers there. We'll actually use initials. So, coworker is K, that's her initial. Then there's two managers. There's T and S. And so I take T, I say, hey T, I need to talk to you for a second. And I take her just back. They were talking to a customer who was kind of looking for some items that we might have in the back, I think. So I take her just inside of the back room, just behind the door. There's like, so it's a double swinging door. This one is open, this one's closed. I take her just back in there, and I show her this. I'm like, what the customer gave to me. She's like, oh my goodness. And so then we kind of show Shelly, and I'm just kind of being secretive, not telling customers, because, you know, I don't know if this is something that you should keep secret or not. Which, it ends up not being a huge thing to kind of keep a secret of in the moment. Tammy does mention it to a few customers, and so, you know, then I tell a few people. I'm like, okay, if she's telling people, then I can tell people and not worry too much. But they do agree that I should call the cops, and that I need to call not 911. I was making sure not 911, but just call their police number. So I call them up, and I give them a basic description of what happened, and they say that they're going to send an officer out there. You know, I let them know which direction I think I saw her go last and stuff like that. And so then the officer gets there. Oh, and before the officer gets there, I hop back on because the lines are getting really busy. And I'm helping people. I bump into one of my friends. No, sorry, that was afterwards. But I would tell... No, I haven't told anybody yet. It's after he comes that I, you know, finally tell people. But it's in my pocket. And there's something that smells really strong and kind of not very good. So when the officer gets there, I give him some few more details. Dang it, I forgot to tell him. No, maybe I did tell him about this. I'm going to tell you what it is in a minute. But, so then before he goes away, I'm like, let me smell it for just a second, please. Oh, yep. Ugh. That's what I was smelling. It's coming out of my pocket. It smelled disgusting. It's very, very strong. Even fresh peppermint leaves wouldn't come out of your pocket like that. It was in a completely sealed, just a little sandwich Ziploc bag. It reeked. It smelled. Fortunately, stuff in my pocket didn't obtain that smell, because like I pulled a receipt out after it was gone that I had in my pocket, and no, that doesn't smell like cannabis, marijuana, or weed, however you call it, and so that was good there. But she gave me drugs, and we're still wondering why. I can see maybe possibly there are some times where I'm tired, but not like super tired, and then I'm also a little bit hungry, and that combination adds to me being, you could almost say, a little more clumsy, but also like I almost knocked a toaster over once in our house because of that state. It's like I'm trying to go on and get some stuff done, cook a meal or something, but it's weird because I'm also kind of hungry, and so I'm not doing so well, and it's where I'm more accident prone to have something happen, like almost knock the toaster over, or this is probably not actually literal, but I like to say that like I had this happen. This doesn't happen very often, okay, this state, but it happened to me once. Sorry. Happened to me once recently when I was in the dollar store putting stuff away, putting go-backs away, and so I like to say I lost 2 brain cells trying to remember what aisle I was standing in putting snacks away on. Especially since one of those aisles was like so neat and cleaned up by the stalkers that I didn't even recognize it until But so anyways, there's very rarely, like less than once a year, I've had it probably happen 5 times or so, there are states where personally I could say okay, yeah, I might seem like I'm on drugs or I want some drugs, but it's very mild and very rare. I don't do drugs at all. I don't even take over-the-counter medication, nasty stuff. We don't do that. But so yeah, she gave me drugs, and so I gave it to the cop and gave him a prescription. And then I did tell some people. I told some friends, like a customer. I was like, "Hey, how are you doing today?" And I'm like, "I'm doing pretty good aside from this." And then I quickly told the story. And so yeah, now here's the other thing. After that kind of happened, then I remembered who she was. I think she's someone that we banned from the dollar store because what was yeah. Oh, so what happened is there's these other two guys who. They're twin brothers. They're nice. I like them. Although there is a chance that maybe they're not as nice as they present themselves or I see them. They might have picked up some drugs once when they were leaving the dollar store because it looked like we saw them have a pickup. We didn't call the cops or anything like that, you know, because they were a little ways off from the dollar store, almost the other side of the parking lot. And just, I personally wouldn't want to call the cops on them because they're nice and I don't like doing that sort of a thing. But one time, one of those guys was in with this girl, Stacy, and they went through my register. Oh, dang it! I remembered a detail that I need to tell other people because this is an important detail. So I rang up their items and stuff, and she asked if we could manually enter in a credit card number, which we actually used to be able to do that at the dollar store. Because I would go and spend some gift cards I get from an app that kind of watches how I use my phone for research purposes. And so I used to be able to use the virtual Visa gift card there by manually entering the card number, but now you can't. Which is kind of sad, but at the same time it's a good safety feature. She wanted to do that, and I told her, yeah, there's no way, even on your computer and not the card reader. No, yeah, we can't do that. And so she's like, alright, pay cash. And so they paid cash. And then they walked out, and as soon as they stepped outside of the Dollar Tree, two police officers showed up and started searching them. They were both male police officers, so I was told you have to have a female police officer to search a woman. That does make sense, and I don't know what the circumstances were. You know, I would say if it's something serious where, like, you have enough evidence that you're gonna, like, yeah, we've got enough evidence that we can just check her right now and we'll definitely find what we're looking for and take her away, and you're not able to have a female police officer because there is literally not one available or not even one on the force at all, then I would say, yeah, sure, go ahead. But all other cases, you know, use a female. So, yeah, right after they walked out, they showed up. He was fine, she wasn't. They walked back in and handed me a phone, said, like, is this my phone? No, it's not my phone. Well, I found it on, you know, your register here. And she said that she thought it was his phone, but it, like, apparently, nope, it definitely wasn't. And that, now that I look back on it, at first I was thinking she legitimately thought it was his phone, but now that sounds like an excuse, especially since if she was trying to manually use a credit card number, then it means that she probably stole it. Look, the sidewalk's covered in rain. Ugh, it's cold. But anyways, yeah, and so then, like, 10 minutes later, you know, the guy gave us a call and he came back in and got his cell phone. So she is definitely up to no good, and there's a small chance she could have even been high when she was giving me those drugs, the marijuana or whatever. I don't know what a high person looks like. So to me, the way I see her is she's a very nice person that's friendly, asks you how you're doing, and I would see her, before any of this happened, as just a reputable customer coming into the dollar store, buying some stuff actually, and she shops there and buys some of the things that she would, or she does, that she would, because, you know, money's tight, and so she's getting a good deal at the dollar store. Or maybe not a good deal, but she just doesn't have a lot, and so she kind of has to buy it at the dollar store. So, yeah, she's maybe 50% larger than, no, we'll say 25% larger than I am. She was wearing a pink shirt yesterday, some jeans, had a big, huge backpack, like a camping, hiking backpack on. It was black and long blonde hair. I think she was wearing a little bit of red, pinkish lipstick. Gave me drugs, named Stacy. So if you're in the area of Orem, Utah, Provo, Utah, Linden, you know, and you meet up with her, be a little bit cautious. You know, don't turn down the opportunity to do something good. Like, Okay, yeah, sure. She's had enough run-ins with the cops, though. I mean, if you do see her, you might call in if you think it's her and be like, "Hey, I think this is this person someone was talking about." But also, I wouldn't turn down the opportunity. Maybe offer to buy her something to eat or something. Because aside from the drugs, I think she's just trying to make it in life. But yeah, she gave me drugs, and the credit card bit was the bit that I forgot to tell other people. I remember the bit about the phone and the cop showing up, but I forgot the credit card bit. So yeah, and it's interesting. There are people that I wouldn't suspect at all. Like there was one time where some people walked into the dollar store and they got deeper into the store before we could tell them, "Hey, could you please leave your backpack up front?" Which we're the only store that does this here in Orem. They are like, because we have a lot of theft there. If you go to Provo though, because I worked in the Provo dollar store for a while, every store asks me to put my red belt pouch up front. Apparently they have a lot of theft down there. Well, except for DI. I asked a guy at DI, "Hey, do you guys want me to leave my pouch up front?" And they're like, "No, go on ahead. We trust you," which is nice. And also, DI doesn't have anything to lose because everything was donated to them, and then they put a price tag on it. So yeah, but so Tammy asked me to go and follow them back there. So I went back there and pretended like I was just an dollar store employee cleaning up items and stuff. When I first went back there, they seemed like nice people, I think she had a backpack on, and then they switched to where he had it on, and they were just back there looking at frozen stuff and the different food items and things like that. And they seemed like just nice people that were honestly back there. They just had their backpack because they can carry their groceries home in it. And, it's nice to get around and carry stuff in. They seemed like nice people. And then I went around the corner to look like I'm not spying on them, and I picked up a few items that weren't where they belonged. And then when the next time I looked at them, they weren't doing anything suspicious, like sneaking any items into their backpack or anything. But for some reason, their "we're nice people" countenance completely was just gone, and there was some weird darkness about them. I don't know why, but there was, and it was, I wouldn't say creepy, but it was kind of eye-opening, like, whoa, now they don't look so nice. And then I did catch them putting stuff in their backpack. I didn't walk up and say, "Hey, what are you guys doing? Come with me and see the manager." I'm a little bit nervous about that, especially since I don't like to get into fights with anybody. I do kind of get into some fights with my mom, but it's something that I try and avoid, and especially with customers, especially with people that are bigger than me, because I would not be very good at defending myself. I can't even do the Krav Maga on my mom, and she's using a cooking spoon as the fake weapon. I don't know. Go watch Modern Rogue on that if you want to know more about the Krav Maga. But yeah, so I did tell Tammy what was going on, though, and I saw them sticking to some stuff. When they came up, they did buy some things to make it look like they hadn't done anything wrong, but they had. And so they're kind of people would keep on the watch list, and we banned another person from the dollar store. So theft there is pretty serious. And one of my coworkers, he has no idea why anybody would steal something for $1. Like, what's the point? But, like, seriously, the dollar stores are a relatively easy place to steal from. Not to inspire anybody's ideas, but, we do have, like, security system and stuff, but it's not perfect, There are some things that could be improved upon it to make it better, is all I'm going to say. But it's not, I guess with the amount of theft that goes on, I can't do much by saying this, but a lot of other dollar stores aren't so great. There was one dollar store that, this was months ago, they got robbed at gunpoint, I heard, back when I was still a manager. And they're a dollar store that doesn't have security cameras. I mean, ours does have some in certain places. Not going to say which ones. But then also we do have a security system where, like, if you open the door, you have to punch in your code, and it's got motion sensors. And we only have that security system because it was already there in the building when Dollar Tree moved in. And they said, "Goody, free security system. Let's quickly figure out how to use it and have our managers use it." Yeah. So it's not great, but we do have quite a bit of theft, and she's one of the people that we banned from the dollar store. There's another person we've banned. And then there's also another lady who looks like the person that we banned, but it's not. And so we're like, is that... Oh, no, that's not. That's just the dog lady who's nice, So yeah, I was given drugs, and they stunk really bad. Oh, the other thing, too, is I've seen 1 and 2 of the Transformers movies by Michael Bay. I stopped at number 2 because it was really inappropriate, but I kind of want to see number 3 because Optimus Prime turning evil, and that makes me really curious. But so anyways, in number 2, it was whatever, the main character's mom. She gets some brownies from a college student, and it turns out they're laced with like cannabis or something. And so I was saying that sounds a lot more pleasant than eating them the way that they were presented to me. And it turns out that actually legitimately would be. I was thinking it's like they just mixed it in with some brownie mix. But actually my T, the manager, what she said that they will do is they put it into butter and they cook it down into butter. And then they make brownies out of it. And so you can't taste it at all. So I'm not going to do drugs. But if I was, I would probably go for the method where they're mixing the brownies. And not where it's like normal. Because, goodness. It was nasty smell. And thinking of all the things I know of that would leak their smell really strongly out of just a basic Ziploc sandwich bag, I can't think of much of anything. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to go around the back quickly and see anybody live right now. No views right now, no comments. Okay, that's totally fine. I'm just checking to make sure. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. Really crazy and strange, and yeah, like I said earlier, there are like once every 3 years or so where I might be in a kind of weird crazy state, and so I could seem like I might want some drugs, but not. Oh, actually, this is relevant. This I thought was interesting. It's a little excerpt from a book. I forget what the book is called. If you really want to know, I can do some Googling and find it again for you. This was something that somebody like shared on Reddit as a comment, but it's a quote from a book, so it's not like super well known. But there was this actor, not like super famous, but somewhat, you know, I would say just based on the book, he's somewhere in the middle. Like there's bad actors kind of in the middle, and then there's the really good famous actors, and he was in the middle. I can't think of his name. But he was on some show, I want to say it was in Atlanta, Georgia or something, and the movie that he was in, he was like playing a drug addict, and so then at one point, they're not filming right at the moment, you know, but they're getting ready to film another scene, and this, I'm pretty sure it was a woman, she walks over and says, "You look like you could use a fix more than I could," and hands him some drugs. And so he called that his street Oscar. So, yeah, interesting and relevant. But yes, I was given drugs. It was weird and crazy, and I don't plan on doing drugs at all. Like, I think we might have done, when I had toothache over here, and then I got my wisdom teeth out, I think I did a little bit of ibuprofen. I've done one other time, I've done a little bit of medication, like some nasty pink syrup, and then, like, we got some that was supposed to taste like bubblegum, and it's disgusting. And then we got some because apparently back when Macy's was still around, they were able to make it taste like other flavors, not just bubblegum. So we got orange flavor, and it still tasted like bubblegum and was disgusting. Ugh. And I've had some medicine on a cruise ship, maybe one other time, but that's about it. We don't do pills and stuff in our house, so I'm not doing drugs, and you most likely won't see me do any over-counter medication either. So maybe ibuprofen in the future. Kind of sort of worked, kind of didn't. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in whatever is next.